On this. This isn't just in Europe. This is here in all my exes. Nuclear waste are headed to West Texas. So there is so much natural gas in Europe. There is so much energy, solar, wind, natural gas all over the United States that spot. And this is important. This is an inflationary psycho time we live in where the Fed steps in, buys stocks, buys bonds. The United States, Trump, the socialist, is to blame for this. Trump ran more debt and Obama, the two worst humans who ever walked the face of the earth. Fukushima, Fukushima, Fukushima. They're the two worst presidents. They're the two worst human beings who ever walked. Who do you think created this inflationary freaking bubble nightmare Ayn Greenspan to cover up a Fukushima we live in? Now let's stay on this. This is historic and important. I am the world's most foremost expert on this. Bar none. Oh, you could run to people that did no field work, that have no experience, that have no, get them on TV, and talk in their passive aggressive way, and you're going to accomplish fucking 0.0. There is no energy crisis in the United States. There is no energy crisis in Europe. None. 0.0. It's manufactured by the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. You don't think they own you? The Illuminati? The Illuminati! Fuck, please. They radiate. Oh, it's one group of people. It's one group of people. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, freaking Elon Musk. They're the same clan. Why do you think they're all pro-nuclear energy? Who think you passed the law called Price-Anderson? Look up Jeff Bezos' grandfather. Guys, the original. The Department of Energy. Look up, just Google how they started. Department of Nuclearism. There's no energy crisis. No, it's just like food. There's no food crisis in this country. We're grotesquely overproducing food. The most disgusting freaking industry in the world is mega dairies, big ag. Why do you think they're still spraying Roundup all over? Because you got these scumbag attorneys that lobby. I deal with them. They'll do anything for money, including kill their own family and kill themselves. They don't care because they're going to see American manufacturing. They've been sold this bill of goods. The Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate has created this. We don't need nuclear energy. I mean, it doesn't produce any electric. It produces negative. It takes it to keep it open. If the big Z hasn't proven that to you. Remember when I used to say the Z's for the reactor, whatever, and Google gets all mad at me, butthurt, everybody fucking jumping down my throat. Plutonium wars. Please. Fuck, they're after the plutonium, the uranium-235. That's weapons grades. You can only get that one place. What? It's a byproduct of nuclear energy. That's what these things are all about. They're about power and control. They're on a power trip. These are freaks. These are psychos. It's never enough money for the likes of fucking Gates and clan. Never. These are sick, demented psychopaths that need to be rounded up and freaking put in prison cells. All of them, the whole Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. This is not opinion. Spot prices. What's a spot price? Futures. That's how you play the commodities markets. That's how we set pricing in this country. Freaking buyers and sellers. Well, until the government manipulates it. I used to work on the CBOE floor. I was a freaking derivative arbitrage. Boy, talk about physical down there. Whoa. Never have I seen this in my life. Spot prices went below zero. So what does that tell people? The future traders, they will actually pay you to buy the contracts. They don't want them. They'll pay you. They will literally pay you to buy natural gas. The people that are producing it. Because they're bleeding and losing so much money because there's so fucking much of it. In Europe, this is all manufactured by media. Oh, Putin's freaking natural gas line up. Oh, we got to keep nuclear reactors open in Germany. Hey, we got to keep them. Fuck, please. There was 20 of them. We're down to 3. Is there any for oil and black? California. Since San Onofre makes up 22% of the California grid. It's been shut down since 2013. Kevin Blanch and friends kicked that. Without my cancer, San Onofre never shut. It's the greatest accomplishment in grassroots activism history is the shutting down of San Onofre. Kevin Blanch and friends. We did it. It's an incredible accomplishment. Hottest summer, 2014. Then 2015 breaks 2014's record. Then 2016 breaks 2015's record. Then 2017 breaks, so on, to the hottest summer every single year for 10 consecutive. Any rolling blackouts in California? Nope. Oh, Diablo Canyon, $4.4 million a day. Go talk to somebody. You know how much those guys make that work there? Mothers for Nuclear, well, they work there. They make, the low-line employees make $250,000 a year there. It's free money. They don't want to lose their cash cow. They don't have to work. They don't do anything. You fly around the country. You go to any major sporting event. I remember I'm standing in line at Full Cancer. Del Mar was doing an event for me in what was 2013 or 14 when I was walking the coast. And Del Mar was going to do a seminar for me, put me into the circle. I'm standing there and there's this freaking really weird looking guy with this really tall freaking young blonde woman. And I'm like talking to her. This is, what do you got? And she says, well, I kind of just met him a little while ago. Met him? What do you mean? Well, he kind of hired me. Hired you? Oh, sorry. You're an escort. Yeah. So I start talking to him. He sees my Fukushima shirt. Oh, I'm the plant manager at Palo Verde. Opening day at Del Mar. And he says, oh, you're gambling, huh? Go to any major sporting event. These people that work these nuclear reactors or whatever. And I told you about the Browns. What did I tell you? They won't win shit. They never will. You know. When their stadium's named First Energy. When all the legislators are going to prison. One already committed suicide for bribing. First Energy's, they got busted. And they're still around. Busted. For bribing. For screwing over the freaking taxpayers of Ohio. Who built that stadium. And it's named after them? Freak the angry elf curse. Same with Weber State. You don't think they got a curse? Best team in the history, and the center snaps the ball over the freaking thing 4 times? Well, when your whole stadium and everything's named after the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. There's no energy crisis. There's no energy crisis in California. California's producing 200% more solar a day than they can use. They have nowhere to put it. We have a grid at the speed of light, solar from San Diego, Chula Vista, where it all started. I was on that committee. Can be in Manhattan at the speed of light. We have a grid. Why doesn't it? Because remember when you could sell it back in Nevada and everybody was getting rich? And it was a legislator from Elko, who was originally from Utah, went down there and says, well, it's unfair. Unfair to who? The nuclear and coal industry. Oh, fuck. It's manufactured. This is just factual proof. The spot price on natural gas has gone negative. What does that mean? It means below, say by zero, the fix, the cure. It feels like heaven. Freaking must have been asleep for fucking days. And if it doesn't prove to you that the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate owns all the media, New York Times, Washington Post, CBS, ABC, TASS, state-run media, they own the government. Look at these subsidies that flow out to the nuclear. Bernie Sanders, remember he said pull the plug? And Bernie won the DNC. Hillary stole the election and gave it to Trump, her cousin. They're cousins. They're both related to the Scottish Reich. Look it up. Look it up. Donald 1, Donald 2 are her 2 sons. You can't make it up. Jonah Bonahart. They're both her descendants. Look it up. Just look it up. Bernie said pull the plug off the nuclear industry. Then all of a sudden, boom. When he's up in every single, same with against Biden. That's where they steal these elections. Optical calls it the ratchet effect. Turn it to the right, turn it to the right, turn it to the right, and every time they want to turn it to the old left, which ain't the left anymore, they won't allow it. The Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate owns this country. It owns you, right down to your bone. I can prove this. Plutonium Wars, I own that domain. I'll sell it. I'll sell that domain for $250,000. It's worth way more than that. But I'm desperate. I've got to get a car. I am desperate. I mean, running on fumes, doing all this work at $20,000 a year. I basically have one investor, really. I have a small group that keeps me barely alive, and it's barely alive. I'm attacked. When the DNR and the NEI, which we proved went to the FBI, and proved that they hired teams of trolls to attack Kevin Blanch. There were literally dozens of Facebook and YouTube sites in 2013, 14, and 15 when I had the field. 100% committed with my name on them to slandering me. When I'm in a bone marrow transplant center full of AML in critical condition, which are felonies in all 50 states, but they can do anything they want to me. They can rip me. They can do anything, which Well, they marched my father in the Nevada test site, drafted a Marine, and nuked him to death. My mom got nothing. My dad died young of leukemia after being nuked in the Nevada test Semper Fi Marine. My mom never got any benefit checks. She never got 5 cents. She never even got a tax break. She never got nothing. Neither did I. We're going to give you no checks, no nothing. I mean, there is no energy crisis. None. This proves it. There's so much, we are producing so much now, it's just like food. There's no food crisis. Look around and look at people. You think they're starving? We're overproducing food. It's the inflationary because of Ayn Rand Greenspan. When Trump and Obama dump fucking $11.5 trillion onto the economy, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? And then the media just lies. I can prove all this. One really story. When in February, when I named it Plutonium Wars in 2013, when I was in the Ukraine, 2014. When I was there, I named it Plutonium Wars. I named it the Big Z. Fuck, I named that reactor the Big Z in Vienna 25 years ago. The BLANCH box. You got me, baby. You got me. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over. Oh, I kicked the fucking nuclear boat over. February 2022. Headline story. USA Today, who will never say the F word. Nobody will say the F word, Fukushima. When everybody was panicking, it looked like Putin, World War III nuclear strike on the Big Z was going to blow the biggest nuclear reactor in the world. They all act like they don't know. Headline. Biggest nuclear reactor in all of Europe could become Fukushima style disaster. They broke the moratorium. They broke the chain. They broke the rules. Somebody inside there broke it and freaked out. I could prove this also. Sanjay Gupta, MD, who's a practicing MD, and Anderson Vanderbilt Cooper. They're in Fukushima, Japan when it happened. They used the term Fukushima meltdown, Fukushima meltdown, Fukushima meltdown thousands of times. They're there. They're freaking out. They got this fake PR guy in CNN from Jim Walsh, who should be in jail, from MIT, claimed. And then they got this so-called artist from Michigan who should be in jail. Oh, I had rheumatic fever in 1986 and I got better. And when I thought Chernobyl was 3 eyeballs and limbs on it, so I went to Chernobyl and it's perfectly fine. I mean, and then Sanjay Gupta, MD. I mean, this is on his show. The day Liz Taylor died. Whoa. March 25th, 2011. Sanjay Gupta gets back. So they come back. Should we get out? Should we get out? The wind shifted. Should we get out? Should we get out? Fukushima meltdown, Fukushima meltdown. Oh, they got out. They said the Fukushima meltdown word thousands of times between the two of them. They came home. They were briefed, obviously. Never said it since. Sanjay Gupta, MD, that morning, his show. He's a practicing MD, broke his oath. He uses the Sudoku folding paper cranes. I got to hold a real paper crane in my hand in the Nove hangar. That's a major story. No Utah media covers me. They won't touch me because the further a society moves away, drifts away from the truth, the more that said society will hate anyone who tells the truth. No one's drifted further than the truth from Utah and KSL from hell, Operation Foxconn News. Sanjay Gupta has a doctor from Japan. Well, I got leukemia when I was 11 years old. My best friend got leukemia, when I was 11 years old. Uses the Sudoku folding paper cranes innuendo. She was 11. She got to 640. Died of cancer. Leukemia. So my dad, just like Annika. I found out radiation isn't bad for you. It's good for you. It saves you, which is not good for you. I mean, I had chemo, not radiation. I freaked out. CNN pulls the transcript. This is back when I used to get 30,000 freaking views a day before they kettled me. I invented thousands of terms, including the term internet kettling, including plutonium wars. I have thousands of them. I went crazy. It took a year and a half. Somebody from CNN finally says, here, I got it. Leaked it to me. I put it online. I read it online. Oh, it's back up there now. My uncle's a practicing neurosurgeon. I asked him straight up, is this against his oath? Yeah, he should be in jail for that. You all act like you don't know. There is no energy crisis. It's manufactured. The media, the nuclear energy crime syndicate, they don't illuminate. They radiate. Look up Bezos. How come all the .coms went busted and Amazon's just bleeding billions and trillions of dollars and they survive and now they own the world? Somebody was funding him. How about Bill Gates? He never invented anything. Stole the operating system here. The operating system was invented here in Utah. WordPerfect. Alan Ashton, who's David O. McKay's grandson. Bruce Bastian, who's Fido Farnsworth's freaking grand, was invented here. WordPerfect shift. You know who took over Novell? Became the CEO? My brother was the CFO there then. No. Eric Schmidt. Remember he stole the $1 billion and just buried them? You don't think that was intentional? How did Bill? There was a trial against Bill Gates here for doing this to Novell. Remember they were going to merge in '95, shift F13, and then you got onto the software Windows 95 to Novell and WordPerfect, and it said "F you, go to hell, eat shit." Well, they sued him. $1 billion lawsuit. It took till 2011, the fall of 2011. Guess where I was? Right in that protest. Bill Gates was here on trial in Utah. I was in a bone marrow transplant right up the hill fighting for my life going in and out of a coma, LDS State. I went to the bone marrow transplant on 11/11/11. There is no fucking energy crisis. It's manufactured. Just like there's no food crisis. We're overproducing food. All the Pacific Ocean's dying. Huh. Big dairy, big ag, this guy behind my house, what he's done, holy shit. This guy's the greatest criminal that Utah's ever seen. He gets away with it, and everybody knows. Just dumping 1,800 cows of freaking raw sewer into the Weber River and into the Great Salt Lake every day, and everybody knows it. Owns no thing, stole hundreds of millions of dollars from the freaking Farm Bureau, from the freaking thing. And everybody just, again, it's Orwell on Balco. The further a society drifts away from the truth, the more that said society will hate anyone who tells the truth. There is no energy crisis. 58 reactors in Japan. They told us it made up upwards of 60 to 70% of the electrical grid in Japan. I fought Fukushima long before the meltdowns. They're all offline to this day. All but one. No rolling blackouts in Japan. No rolling blackouts in California. No blackouts in freaking Europe when we've had the hottest summers in history. Diablo Canyon, $4.4 million a day. It's costing to keep that open, California taxpayer subsidies. And they're producing negative energy. Negative. Because they've got so much spent fuel on site. They use, you got it, coal and, well, they're using, I take it back, Diablo Canyon's using solar to keep it open. There's so much natural gas in Europe, so much natural gas in the United States, that spot prices, the West Texas freaking went below zero this week. I worked on the CBOE floor. I'm an ex-arbitrage derivative freaking trader. I was an arbitrage derivative specialist. That's what I did for a living, until I got cancer. Spot prices go under zero. Those are future contracts. We go back to East of Eden. Caleb, good son, bad son, two boys, just like that. I started trading cattle futures in the stock freaking yard here in Ogden, Utah, 14 years old, and I made big scores. And I was the bad son, as far as you think, but it's the bad son is the good son. The good son is the bad son. What did he say at the end of that book? What did he say? The Chinese servant, the philosopher, when he died in World War I. And he's blaming himself. Adam's blaming himself. What did he say at the end of that? Tim Shell. I'm going to tag this nuclear energy, Tim Shell. Thou mayest. Men are responsible for their actions. And I'm not going with the flow. I stood up, and I stood up for what was right. I'm responsible for my actions. But so are you. I have some nuclear roof for you, and I have some for me. But you must wear yours with a difference, Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate, because we're all getting cancer now. And when you get cancer and you get leukemia, where's my merit badge hat? I had my fucking turn. I committed no crime. I did my sentence. I did my cancer fucking sentence. Fucking sleep and dream is all I crave. I traveled far across the Milky Way to this cancer master. Oh, have I been a slave. Kevin Blanch, the greatest fucking activist slave in history, and oh, have I been. I don't even own a fucking car. Fucking in the year 4242, man is still alive. What's the year today? 2022. There is no energy crisis. Spot prices are under zero. It's manufactured. They don't illuminate. They radiate. Stay tuned.